let it be him. Cosmo! I cried. Chapter 12. Almost a happy ending. He was sitting on top of a bunch of crumpled papers. I scooped him up and cuddled him close. I was so worried about you, I said. How did you end up in there? Cosmo didn't answer. He just made his good Cosmo sounds. There was a rubber band stuck to his head, and a tissue stuck to his body. I pulled them off and brushed away the Oreo crumbs around his mouth. You ate my lunch, didn't you? I said. Cosmo gurgled. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you'd need food since you're slime. But of course you do, because anything that's alive needs food, no matter what it's made of. That's the slime you made? Claire asked. I nodded. It is. But how is it? What is it? Am I dreaming? It started out as plain slime, I said. I sculpted it into a pet. Then some space dust fell on him. That's when he came to life. Wow, Claire said. ICBI. Huh? I can't believe it, she said. He turned back to slime in front of my parents. I said, I thought that meant I was the only one he could come alive for, but he's alive for me too, Claire said. I nodded. Maybe he can be alive for kids, but not adults. Maybe, Claire said. You're right about one thing. He's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Except for Buddy, that is. Is it okay if I pet him? Sure, I said. Claire, let me introduce you to Cosmo. Cosmo, this is Claire. Claire reached out her hand and ran her fingers across Cosmo's soft, slimy back. I didn't take him out of your backpack, Piper, Claire said. I swear. I hope you believe me. I believe you, I said. I left it open a little bit so he could breathe. I think maybe he opened it up all the way himself and climbed out to look for me. How do you think he ended up in the garbage can? Maybe Ms. Serrato came into the room and thought that he was just plain slime, so she threw him away. Poor Cosmo, Claire said. Please don't tell anyone about him, I said. I tried to tell my mom this morning. He looked like regular slime to her, so that's what she thought he was. I think he's supposed to be a secret. I won't tell, Claire said. I promise. I'm going to teach him tricks like you taught Buddy, I said. He already knows how to sit. Sort of. If I push his butt down, he sits. What else can Buddy do? Oh, lots of things, Claire said. He can fetch balls and lie down and hold a paw for a shake. You want to learn all that, Cosmo? I asked. He made his little gurgle sounds. Girls, Mr. Leon said. Claire and I both jumped. Didn't mean to scare you, he said. And I didn't mean to take so long. I needed to help find a missing mop. How are you guys doing? We're all good, Claire said. Everything is totally normal. Better than normal, I said. You found the mop, and I found my slime. That's it right there? Mr. Leon asked. Yep. Cosmo had turned back to plain slime in my arms, but he still looked cute to me. That's the best-looking slime I've ever seen, Mr. Leon said. I'm glad you found it. Actually, Claire found it, I said. But Piper made it, Claire said. If she didn't make it, there wouldn't have been anything to find. That's surely true, Mr. Leon said. Way to go, clean team. I love a happy ending. Almost happy ending, I said. We still need to sweep this room. You two ready to make some moves with the dustpan? Mr. Leon asked. Yes, Claire and I said. Chapter 13. Oh no, Grandma! About an hour later, I was back at home. Dad was in his office, still working on the tough section of his book. He told me I had to play alone. That was fine with me because I wasn't actually alone. I'd never have to play alone again. I had Cosmo. I sat down on my bedroom floor and patted the rug beside me. "Come here, Cosmo," I said. "Sit." He sat, all by himself. "Oh, good boy," I said. "Now I'm going to teach you to play fetch, like Claire's dog Buddy." I held up a tennis ball. "When I roll this across the room, you go get it and bring it back, okay?" Cosmo gurgled, which I took as yes. "Here we go," I said. I rolled the ball. "Get it, boy." Cosmo hopped after the ball, scooped it up, and brought it back. "You're a natural at fetching," I told him. "Let's play again." I rolled the ball. Cosmo took a couple steps toward it, but then he seemed to change his mind about fetching. He turned around and hopped into my lap. "Oh, you just want to snuggle?" I said. "Well, that's okay too. Let's snuggle. We can do tricks later. You've had a long day." I hugged Cosmo in my lap. He felt so cozy. I didn't care about being allergic anymore. Even if I wasn't allergic to anything, and I could have whatever pet I wanted out of all the pets in the whole wide world, I'd still pick Cosmo. Dad pushed open the door, and Cosmo turned back to regular slime. "Hey there, Piper," he said. "You wrote to Grandma Sadie last night, didn't you?" "Yep. I thanked her for my space dust. It was actually a much better present than I thought, just so you know." "Why's that?" he asked. "Oh, no reason," I said. Well, you didn't by any chance get an email back from your grandma, did you?" "I haven't checked yet." "Let's check now," Dad said. "Okay," I said. I scooped up Cosmo. He was just a slime blob in front of Dad, but I still wanted to keep him near me. We walked down the hall to Dad's office. Dad pulled out the desk chair in front of his computer so I could sit down and log on. I typed in my email address and password. "Anything from Grandma Sadie?" he asked. "No, not yet," I said. "But I'm going to write her another email anyway. I have something important to tell her." "What?" "It's private," I said. It was about Cosmo, of course. I wanted her to know what the space dust did to my slime and give her an extra big thank you. But I didn't want Dad to see because I knew he wouldn't understand. Dad was standing right next to me. "That means I need privacy," I told him. "Oh, right, of course," he said, and he took a step back. But his voice sounded funny. He looked funny, too. His forehead was all scrunched up, the way it gets when he's worried about something. "Is something wrong?" I asked. "Oh, it's probably nothing," Dad said. "You know your grandmother. She goes off on adventures all the time, but..." "But what?" "Mom got a call from Grandma Sadie's boss at Astroblast Explorers," he said. "She was supposed to blast off on a new trip this morning. She's probably fine. But she didn't come in, and they don't know where she is." "They don't know where she is?" I repeated, and Dad nodded. "You mean she's missing?" I asked. "I'm afraid so," he said. "Oh no! Grandma Sadie!" I cried. Piper McLean's Secret Slime Recipe. Hey, it's me, Piper McLean. I'm going to share my favorite slime recipe with you. You should have your parents help you make it so that you don't get in trouble the way I did. You only need 3 ingredients. 1. A 6-ounce bottle of white or clear school glue. 2. Half teaspoon baking soda. 3. 1.5 tablespoons contact lens solution that includes boric acid and sodium borate. First, squeeze the whole bottle of glue into a bowl. Next, add the baking soda and mix it up. Want your slime to be stretchier? Add a few tablespoons of water. After that, slowly mix in the contact lens solution. You can also add food coloring or glitter to make your slime more colorful or sparkly. Mix it up with your hands until it's smooth and stretchy. Your slime might not come to life the way that Cosmo did, but you'll have a lot of fun making it. Real-life slime. Cosmo might be a fictional character, but guess what? Scientists in France have discovered a slime that can do tricks in real life. Its name is Physarum polycephalum. Let's call it pea slime for short. Pea slime doesn't have a brain, so it can't be taught how to sit or fetch a ball or anything like that. But it can figure out how to slink around and find food. When the scientists put barriers in between pea slime and its food, the slime worked out a way around the barrier to get what it wanted. Sometimes it seemed to be a little bit scared and it wouldn't move. But then it learned not to be scared of the barrier anymore. That's a pretty good lesson. To gather up your courage and face your fears. Who knew slime would be such a great teacher? Maybe one day, scientists will discover a slime that's brave as well as cute and cuddly like Cosmo. In the meantime, there will be plenty of Cosmo and Piper adventures to enjoy.
Let's make a prediction. What do you think happened to Grandma Sadie?